Hi, this is Ashley Smith from Mission, Texas. Thank you for listening to the 𝗕𝗂𝗆 podcast, the audio experience for basketball officials. Serve the game.
Well, I really do appreciate everybody coming and supporting Ashley. Ashley, I hope you're doing well. It was great watching your game. I saw so much upside with you. I think you have, great opportunity, a lot of talent, and you're obviously working very hard and you're very passionate. And so I think you're in a great spot. So it was a pleasure watching you work.
Thank you.
Is there anything new after reading the report you kind of learned about yourself or learned about officiating or that was eye-opening for you? Just give me a quick review.
Like my signaling, mechanics wise, like it looks weak. Like now that I'm watching it on film, and like my 3-point mechanics, it is super narrow. So just had to be more consistent and stronger in my mechanics.
Okay. Did you notice like what I was saying about they were just a little soft, gentle?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
I let it go a little bit more. So I'm glad we connected there. Game wasn't too difficult. Like we always love to see difficult situations because that's what's going to show the most. But listen, let me tell you right now who my favorite type of ref is a female official that works boys games. Just want to put that out there. So you and Carmela are my favorite types of officials. I really respect what you're doing. It's not easy to work these games, and you guys are kind of making it look easy. So big shout out to both of you. So 8 minutes to start the game. I wrote, remember to chop the clock in sync with the first legal touch, which is, as soon as the ball gets tipped. So was there any reason why you tipped it when A2 catches it?
No,
Berhando
sir.
is Rios.
Late.
So Rios and
Did you think the clock starts when they catch it?
No, it's like, I guess it was one of those, like, I was just late.
Okay. Do you normally, so you chopped it upon the catch?
Mm-hmm.
You normally chop it as soon as the jumper tips it?
The ball's legally touched. I would say yes, but then that one was late.
Okay, no problem. Just, you put on the game, that's the first thing you notice. So just coming out, being ready and just showing that pop to start the game. 5 minutes, we have a play about 3-point mechanics. And again, stop me at any time. I hope you have some like follow-up questions about particular plays or any of my feedback or comments as well. All right, so 3-point mechanics. You display good form with the 3-point attempt. I think you can raise and widen your signal here to show more strength and make it bigger, right? Narrow, and then you mentioned that before.
Mm-hmm.
So just having a little bit broader of shoulders there, just a little bit wider, a little bit bigger, and not so skinny, so to speak.
Okay.
And if you could add a little footwork, not always being flat-footed. I'm not saying to make unnecessary movements, but I don't know, there's something that I really, really like about 3-point attempts and showing that engaged look, like you're really reffing from the feet up, just looking athletic out there. Which I know you are. I know you got game. I watched a YouTube clip. So your first foul doesn't. So what do you got? Talk to me.
First foul.
2:15. So lead. In the B position. Good. No need to rotate. I like that. You stayed put. Now I would go a little wider there. See how you came in, that position adjustment there? I think you have to stay wider and not travel with the play. Once the ball gets kicked into the post, I want to see you take a step back from the play.
Okay.
Let's watch it here. So ball goes to the top of the key. I feel like you might be in a little bit of a stack too. And also we want to have the awareness to know where the ball's going right here. Remember we talk about being in a good position for that next play. Well, where's the next play going right here?
To the low post right there.
Okay, so then maybe we need to get a step wider than just mirroring the ball. We don't want to mirror the ball when the ball is in the post right there. I think we have to see through the space. So back up, back up, back up, and stay put. Instead of traveling with the play, even at the end, that excess movement at the end, I don't even want you to travel with the play there. I want you to stay put. Right? I don't think we need to walk with the play there. Did you have to walk out of a stack, or was that just your natural motion right there?
That's just my natural motion. But like now, since I've been reading and like how you say, get a bigger picture so you stay wider.
Okay, that looked like 14 fouled him. It looked like a pretty clear foul. I think he was illegal jumping forward. So I like the whistle. Sometimes though, that excess movement puts us out of position, or we wind up biting and calling something cheap. But I don't think that was a cheap foul. So that looked good. They didn't show you reporting at the table, I don't think. What else did I write? We want to ensure the first whistle of the game is correct, and I thought this was a great decision to penalize this illegal contact. You have a really smooth demeanor and presence, but I want you to discard showing the 2 shots on the spot of the foul. I'm sure plenty of people on this call have heard me say that. Although I know that's the correct high school mechanic, I know you'll be working in the NCAA very soon, so you're gonna quickly graduate from this rookie look. Okay, you got a rebounding foul at 133. Hey, Nico. Where's the trail? Where's the trail? You display a crystal clear presentation of signals following the, and you follow the correct sequence of signals. Remember, on these plays going the other way, there's like a sequence involved that we got to make sure we do it right every time. To clearly narrate what happened and where we're going, who's got the ball, where's it at. Shot is up. Okay, that wasn't it. Oh, but the my clock is staying at 133, so I actually don't know where this foul occurs then. The clock isn't moving. The clock, start the clock, start the clock. What does the board say? 135 is probably coming up right here. Shot, boom, rebound, good point, excellent. Pointed to the spot, really good. Were you vocalizing? What did you vocalize on the spot? And that push was clean right there. What did you vocalize on
that one? I had white ball.
So when the foul occurred and you blew the whistle, you said boop boop, white ball, and pointed?
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Yes, sir.
Great. Excellent. Boop boop, white ball, spot. Really good. What did I say to add? Okay, so at the table, then you can add that extra point. I always feel like that gives us a little bit of added table presence on plays where we can add that extra point to our fouls after the report. Let's take a look one more time at the report. So we have who the fouls on, color, number, push, and then a point at the end after your push.
Okay.
Like one final re-emphasis of where we're going. And you notice I also wrote conversely on our rebounding fouls that are staying here. I want you to use the stay here signal. Have you tried that yet?
I haven't had one yet. Like for the men's league, I haven't had it yet.
Okay. So the stay here signal is really good for rebounding fouls, for loose ball fouls, for fouls on the pass that happen like when the ball's midair, on a cutter, chucking a cutter. It's good to just call the foul and point, stay here. Those 4 play types. are really good to use the stay here signal. It might be my favorite signal. And so I recommend it on all levels. Doesn't matter if it's not in a book or not. It's very clear on all levels. Any questions so far, Ashley? Anybody else have any questions or comments for Ashley? Feel free to unmute. All right, 3 seconds. You have an out of bounds mechanic. Let's just look. Let's get technical. Look at your body positioning and posture, and body mechanics. Maybe lower that hand count just slightly. That last one you did, slightly high. Still look good. All right. So, yeah. What do you got? About to say something? Take it away.
Hey, yeah, my arm's bent. It's not straight up.
And you also got your thumb up and 2 fingers out. I think. I'm not sure, but your hand isn't tucked. Which fingers are you pointing with?
For 𝗕𝗏𝗆𝗆, it has open hand.
Okay, so I would focus on one point that you take with you wherever you go, and either maybe 1 finger point or 2 finger point. I would recommend the 1 finger point, and just practice that 1 finger point, and just trust me on that. Just looks the strongest and most modern. I don't know if you guys saw my post about, the old school look versus the modern official, but there's still plenty of, and it had nothing to do with age, because I see a lot of young officials using old looking signals too. And you're just not going to get a lot of respect, I don't think, overall, with that presentation. 6:35, second quarter. All right, Ashley. Consider change. Oh, so I said block makeover. Do we need a block makeover? Have you
Old
practiced?
school block.
You're so not old school, Ashley.
And I know it's because when I went to a camp in San Antonio, they were like, well, you have to do 𝗕𝗏𝗆𝗆, and it's like, oh, but then it looks weak when you report it. But yeah.
Listen, when I went to my first camp, it was straight high school mechanics, the foundation of high school officiating, right? So they're stressing all of the things you guys always talk about. I went through it all, and I'm just happy I didn't listen to them. I'm sorry. I'm happy that my viewpoint has changed and evolved over time, which is, no, but it's very natural when I went to the camp, it was very eye-opening, like, oh my God, I'm doing everything wrong. They want it done exactly the way the print says. So, it kind of gets frustrating and it gets a little confusing, but then you get more experience and you go to more camps and you work more games and you work with more officials and you start to open things up a little bit and do what works best for you. Because it's your career, it's your journey. I like that decision to call legal contact right there by the sideline. Did you call it because they got bumped out?
Yes, sir.
And I also want to say I really respect and appreciate the fact you're calling me sir. And I'm not going to tell you what to call me, but you don't have to call me sir because I look at you as my friend or like my little cousin. So again, feel free to call me whatever you'd like, but you don't have to call me sir, okay? But thank you for it. All right, where we at? 501. You have a hit from me.
Oh, it's probably my mom's TV.
Don't say nothing. Let mom watch TV. Few kids, CJ.
Thanks. It's all mom.
Smart guy.
She likes screens. She decided to crawl up here and watch with me.
Nice. Thanks for coming.
Our newest member.
Young mentee. You have a foul coming up at 5:01, Ashley. Okay. I was about to say I liked everything except the 2 shots, but we spoke about that. We don't need to beat that down. Looks like you could see that low hit. He get his forearm
Yes.
on the up and under.
On the left hand.
Just something to note. On the left hand or whatever the offhand is, be conscious of when they hit the offhand and it does nothing. Where normally if that contact would have hit the shooting hand, it would have been a foul, but it didn't. And they just lay it in. So I've seen that play a lot. Something to think about. Not that this play was it, because this was a clear legal contact. Just something to keep in mind. A little more strike with the hip. Did you find the mechanics video I did helpful?
Yes.
Okay, 129. You have an illegal screen coming up. While we watch this advertisement, Ashley, did you have any follow-up questions from the report that you wanted to ask me, or any?
Does anybody have anything to ask me?
I mean, Ashley, like one thing that I just tell officials is keep on finding their passion for what they do, and keep on learning something from every experience, and find a thing to work on every day, and for each game to just grow yourself stronger, and keep on surrounding yourself around good people like you've been doing in this community.
Thanks, Will.
Will for the win. Wise Will. Nickname alert. Wise Will. 129. Illegal screen. Okay. Take me through this play. What did you see?
Number 4, he was fine on that screen until he had pushed him off.
He was legal.
So then he was legal, and then once he had pushed off, I mean, the white player couldn't get around him because he was already at a disadvantage right there.
So what is one thing mechanically you could have done differently, or one thing you left out?
Stopping the clock with the left hand with the outside hand.
I think that
way I don't turn my back on the players.
Yeah, I think that'd be the best option.
Or cross body.
Yeah, plus you avoid going across your body. Stop it with the left hand, point with the left hand. All right, good. You pointed to the spot. I mean, your mechanics are thorough. You're not missing steps, which is good. I mean, you're communicating very clearly. Just got to add a little bit more pop, a little bit more strength. And that's just going to come with mirror work, practice, rules, study to get more confident. In NCAA women's, Carmela, you're still punching, right? You would stop the clock and punch there?
Yeah, we punch in women's.
Okay, so I'm not gonna tell you to go by.
Carmela, but like with NCAA women's, like I see that you punch on the spot, but like when you go to report, you go and like report with the numbers and do that blocking signal for a legal screen. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're just doing as a block.
Yeah, I'm not even going. All right, what we got? Yeah.
That's Kev.
What I was saying was I'm not even going to recommend you guys practice the behind the head. Just because I know NCAA women's is going to be your bread and butter for foreseeable next few years. So let's practice for that. I'd rather you practice for that than get all mixed up doing a high school signal. Plus, on the spot, you could stop the clock and then just point. Nobody's going to say nothing. Just point the other way. You have an illegal dribble at 45 seconds. Good call as A1 palms the ball, but I want you to open up and display the violation towards the court and not the sideline. This way we'll present much clearer and more professional communication of what the call was. And also we got to just slow down when you blow your whistle so you can raise your hand higher. Your hand's a little, like it doesn't go up all the way. It's just too quick and rapid. Did we miss it? Or this clock, I think that we're seeing is messed up. Clearly.
I think the clock on the showing on the TV is quicker than the scoreboard.
Okay. 45 seconds. You know if we missed it, Ashley, or we gotta fast forward?
Okay, yeah, this is halftime. I think it's okay, yeah, that's a tech. The tech is after the illegal dribble, if I remember correctly.
What was the tech for?
The player from the white team, he had said WTF way to the ref.
Did he say WTF, the acronym, or the words?
I mean, I don't want to say the actual words.
I'm not asking you to. I just wanted to know if he literally said, ref, WTF.
Well, that's what my co-official had said. He had he thought he was fouled when the ball had gone out of bounds, I believe, and he had said that, and the ref heard it, so he had teed him up.
I'm not giving anybody a tech if they tell me WTF. If they talk to me in text language, I am not offended by that. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to do better than that. Obviously, if they said the words, there's nothing to discuss, but that's pretty funny. It's like
I find it quite funny when someone audibly says LOL.
I was just thinking that if he laughs instead of laughing at your call, he just LOLs you. Tell him to grow up. Ashley, I'm not finding this illegal dribble. You said it was after the tech or before?
Before the tech.
Okay, so let's just check it out one more time. You know, if you're a coach or even if you're a ref and you're going to hear your whistle and then we're going to look at you and there's going to be no signal because you're going to be done. It's going to be done. It's going to be over, right? And we want to draw it out a little bit more just to make it a little bit clearer. Plus, we want to slow ourselves down. You know, when our bodies are out there moving fast, our minds, just imagine how quick your minds are moving. So if we need to slow our body down, that means we probably need to slow our thinking down way more. And that'll trickle into other plays, which is what we don't want. So just stop the clock on all fouls. Your run looks really solid. Definitely look like an athlete. Look like you belong to be there. And I like your posture a lot too. Shows me that you're not really you don't look nervous out there from my viewpoint. How would you rank your nervousness level when you're on the court?
I would say a 0. Because, I mean, doing men's games to me is more nerve-wracking than high school.
How are those men's league games going? Starting to sink in? Are those reps starting to sink in to your game?
Yeah, so like the information you gave me, and then with the co-official that I'm with, since he does college games for women, he's also been helping me out with the women's mechanics too.
Ash, do you do women's mechanics just to practice for your men's games?
For the men's league, I use the women's mechanics.
Okay. That's what I do for AU sometimes. I'll work on
The women's.
Yeah. I'll do like a game of high school then.
So your trial positioning, just trying to work that 28 as much as possible and adjusting accordingly based on the possession, where the ball is, where the matchup is. Who's got last shot there?
It should be center in this game. Whoa, that play should have been the center.
We do it opposite table.
Yeah, well, opposite table or center, who's ever. It depends, because I know that's what they had told me, and that's what I had read in the book.
I know it varies. That's why I ask. I don't think you had much in the third quarter, Ashley.
Just the wave off that you had said. The last second shot.
At the end of the third, right?
Yes, sir. Oh, sorry. Yes.
No, you don't have to apologize. Remember, I didn't tell you what to call me.
It is. My dad raised me up like that, so it's just engraved.
I know. Was your dad military?
No, he wasn't military. Man, he wasn't military. He was just raised in like a strict household.
He was just respectful.
Yeah.
Was that it? Is that your double dribble that we've been searching for? I think so.
Yes.
Oh, hey. He got a little carried away. Give me the drums. I'm definitely adding drums.
No dad jokes.
Oh, I think that's right. I don't think that was money, Pedro. Wait till you hear the drum sound effects. No, but seriously, just making sure we open up there. It almost looked like you were doing it to the crowd.
I think I guess because it was on that side, so that's why I did it with the right hand, but it should have been left hand. Show the carry symbol and then point.
We just want to make it open and available to the court, not to any like one direction. Just wherever the center of the court is, we should be displaying our signals from. Okay, last shot situation. Did you guys signal to each other who has last shot? Any eye contact or hand signal? Is that something you do? Is that something you try to do every quarter, every half? Should be, right?
Yes, that one should have been me if it's on that side, but now since we're going back in transition, it'll still be me on this one. Yeah, because if it's in front court, it should have been the trail. Only if it's in transition, it's the center.
I love that wave off. I'm not going to lie to you. It's tremendous. It was great. Looks super professional. Keep that one. But the point was you guys both waved it off. So just make sure we're making eye contact, or, I touch my heart. I look at the official and touch my heart. I don't know what you guys do. How else does everybody else signal last shot? What do you do, Carmelo?
Point.
Point? Point to yourself?
Yeah, just point up. Yeah, I just do a little point up.
Okay.
I've recently been doing this, just kind of point like I'm pointing to my watch. I'll get their attention and say, "Hey, you got clocked."
Yeah. I almost do the Steph Curry. I point to the sky and then point to my chest a couple times, like I just hit a 3. It's not
Do the
that
Sammy Sosa.
There you go. That's what I'm saying.
We touch the top of our heads.
Okay. Top of your head. So you signal shot clock violation.
Yeah, when we don't even have one. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Makes sense now. You might have to change that signal up though once you get it.
Well, we either touch the chest too or the head. I normally do either or, but I make sure I look at my partners first.
And that's another thing you guys can mention in the pregame. Hey guys, this is how I signal I'm taking last shot. So I don't know how you guys do it. What do you usually do? Just something for me to look for. All right, Ashley, you got another legal screen at 6:09. Uh-oh.
I think this was the one that there was 2 back-to-back illegal screens. Like he was looking at his knee was outside of his frame.
And totally stacked as well. Calling through 3 players almost 4. You could say he's calling through 4 players. I just don't want you to watch. I know we watch these games and you're like, oh, my partner called that a foul. I guess that's a foul. I don't want you to catalog that as a foul. We're not calling that. That's just the play on the game interrupter.
It was out of his area too, I believe, right?
Yeah, definitely a reach. And I think there was, even the previous possession, there was a rebounding foul that was a phantom too. So
I wanted to ask you, Ashley, how did you feel with the crew dynamics in this game?
It wasn't really like the 2 co-officials I was with. I mean, they're like veterans of our chapter, but I mean, it was pretty tough, very tough.
that's what we deal with for the majority of it, I think high school contests, right? We're a rare breed, I think. People on this call, we've talked about this before, and this is what the industry is. This is what the culture of officiating is. There's more games than there are refs. Right? So they gotta plug holes. They gotta fill games. So there's just people working, people out here working, but not necessarily working at the craft. And that's part of our job too, to navigate through all that. That's part of our journey. And how good are you going to be? Excuse me. You got to be able to work with anyone, anywhere, anytime. Yeah, and I noticed one trend that you walk away from your fouls. I think you did it 2 or 3 times. Right there. You want to stay planted, stay put. Conversely to what I told you about, like the 3-point attempt signal, right? Show a little movement. This play, we got to stay put. We got to not move, and definitely don't walk away from the play, because then you're losing your angle. You're losing your connection to the contact as well. Where was the illegal contact there? What did you think when you called it or now?
What's the number 15 on the release? I was looking at his arm go back.
You saw his arm go back? You saw
Like right there.
It was definitely a wild swing.
I think he short-armed his shot. Like when
Like now that I'm looking at the film, it's like, yeah.
When you flick it back, he kind of moved it out of the way.
Yeah, and I see a swipe down here. Like you watch the drive. Yep, 15. I see a swipe down on white 15. If you watch 11 goes up is airborne, and when he's airborne, you see it there.
Well, I think she called the swipe up, the arm that followed through with the right hand, right? Did you call any contact that was low, Ashley, or you?
No, sir.
Yeah.
No, it's because for me, like, had I stayed put, like, just stationary right there, to me, it looked like number 15 had, like, on the swipe up, like, that's why I was looking at his arm, and it looked like his arm was going back. But then it looked like he was, like, shooting a high floater, too.
Where did the contact occur on the shooter? Which part of his arm/hand?
Like the forearm.
Okay. That's good, because the forearm is illegal. I'm just glad you didn't say hand, right? Because if that's a high five right there, that's just nothing. So if you're gonna tell me he gets him on the forearm and that causes the shot to go off the backboard like that, I mean, I think it's a pretty wild play for both players, the defender and the shooter. But most important thing is the mechanics of it, and you not walking away, you staying right locked in to see the point of contact instead of kind of walking backwards into a stack and reffing over your shoulder and discarding the 2 shots. Your fists look really good though. Your numbers got to pop a little bit more. All right, so what are you doing? You're telling people the subs are coming in?
Because the subs were, I think that was the same time when the subs were trying to come in. I was like, no, it's 2 shots after the first shot.
I don't have any other plays from this game. Do you have any other plays from in these last 4 minutes? I know the other game had a few more.
Oh yeah.
Let's switch it up.
For like a drive to the basket from the center position, you want to stay like on moving action, like going to the basket, like on drives. You want to stay put stationary, right?
I mean, it's a general. That was a general statement. It's tough to apply to every single situation. I'm just talking about the last play you had. We have to stay put right there because I think you're in a good position. When we're blowing the whistle, ideally we should try to be stationary, I think, as much as possible, and try to avoid blowing the whistle on the move, unless we're in transition or we're just position adjusting and a legal contact occurs. But for the most part, when we're making a decision, I think we want to stay still, where our eyes aren't bopping up and down, and just running while making a decision, I think is harder than just standing, staring, and focusing on the play. Let's look at the other game real quick, because I know you got like 3 or 4 other plays we can look at.
Hey, Ashley.
Yes.
The reason I asked about the crew dynamics was a couple of different things I saw. I saw 2 or 3 different times where you and one of your partners had a double prelim on the 3-point, and then he dropped his a couple of times, and then a couple of double whistles that there were just no eye contact made or no like yielding, or it was just kind of double whistles, and I don't think we were aware.
Yeah. Yeah, like that, and in that game too. It's kind of funny that you say that, because in that same game, one of my co-officials, he had caught a double foul, like on the rebound action, and the kid was hooking, like he was on the ground, like on his butt, and he was hooking like one of the kid's legs, and he ended up calling a double foul. So it was kind of like awkward, because it was like the kid had his hands up like he was just trying to get out of the kid holding his leg, and he had ended up calling a double foul. So it was a pretty tough game, because I mean, like I ask a lot of questions and I try to like learn stuff, but it's like when I'm reading the rule book and stuff, and it's like they're doing the opposite of what the rule book says.
Thanks for adding that, CJ. Good point.
They are vets. They're set in their ways, right?
Set vets?
Set in the vet.
And that's why you're here.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, I ask a lot of questions, because I mean, it's like the vets will tell me something, and then I'm reading the rule book, and then it's like I'll try to like ask a lot of questions, and it's like nobody can answer my question. And it's like when I read the rule book, it's like, okay, well that's not what it says in the rule book. So
you're in the correct spot now. We bypass all that now. All right, so bit of an odd position here, because the ball gets tipped out of bounds from the opening tip, but I just want to see you hustle for the ball. Because this is your call, correct? So you have to make a call, and it'd be nice for you to run kind of closer to the end line, excuse me. And even after, like, it's clear you're never going to catch up and balls went out of bounds and you're not obviously in an ideal position, just inbounding the ball, I want to see you hustle for the ball, because we just started the game, right? We got to show a little juice, right? Hustling over. Where you at? Where were you putting in your pocket? Your possession?
Oh, yeah.
Gotcha. Good decision to penalize this illegal contact. I like that you reported the appropriate signal, which is a hold. Everybody see why that was a hold? I think the left hand goes right to the hip. I know probably some people will think it's like a block, but I think the hand on the hip is what initially stalls that movement by the offense.
Go back to that one more time, Paul.
Sure.
I love the foul call, the mechanics, the report. And then to top it off, I want a nice crispy count and chop it in there. It was kind of soft on the count and chop. I think on the count is one place you can really make it pop.
Gotcha.
And show strength.
Great point. Yeah, the count, we got to improve. Your hand is you almost got like a lazy hand where it's not straight. It's like hanging down. So that arm should be just straight, and it should be shoulder level. We don't have to, the most natural hand count motion to me is strictly just shoulder level, just right in line with your shoulder. So your arm just perfectly extends straight out. You don't have to worry about getting it that should be the natural height to me. Let's see the report. Hold. Okay, pretty good hold signal. Maybe just stay there an extra millisecond. A little quick, but Let's see what type of game it is you're trying to get home. You have a foul at 526. We are going to scrub to that.
Ashley, what percentage of your games are 2-person versus 3-person?
I actually had, I'd probably say about 50%. Like half of them were 2-person because this year coming back from COVID, we didn't have enough officials. So a lot of games we had to do was 2-man. And this one was actually like, this is actually like a charter school down here. This was to help them get to like regionals, I guess you can say. So that kind of made it a little worse because it was just 2-person for like this playoff game that's supposed to be for regionals.
Take me through this foul call. Looked like you have contact from behind. Is that what you called? Was it a hit to the head? What was it exactly? Is that a travel? Is that a travel? Let's look at this real quick. Tell me if this is a legal hop step or not. I mean, I'm just not calling that, but I think it might be.
Yeah, I called that one on number 10 from behind.
Does he hit him in the head or is it all back contact?
He was like on his back right there.
All right.
Check his left hand. I think his left hand's on his hip, and that's what makes him move forward a little.
I don't want you guys to pay too much attention to hands on hips on shots by the rim. I don't think that's ever the reason why it's I don't want to say ever. I don't think most of the time that's a reason why it's illegal. Unless it's a chalk and he shoves them with that like one-handed push, but it's got to do more. Like even if he's riding them, and then he goes up, well, he's still got to push. He's still got to like displace, I feel. Okay, giving it to your partner. I like that. Could have done a better pass. Almost. You were almost giving it to your partner. Good intentions here. Just got to finish the pass off. He doesn't want to bend down and pick it up. And then a little more strike with that hit call. With that hit signal. Just a little more strike. 2 plays left, fam. 142. Well, let's look at your positioning first. Because it seemed you were a little wide. When the ball is opposite the basket line, in this case, do you think you're too wide at your initial start right here?
That one, yes.
Yeah. A step or two. Because here's our
But
basket.
then
We got
that guy right there, he's about like 6'6", so I couldn't see around him.
this guy?
He was a tall. Yeah, he was pretty tall.
This dude?
And then number 32, supposedly they said he was 6'10". He was tall too. He was real lanky.
I mean, he's a big dude too. You wouldn't want to take a charge on him. I wouldn't want to. So you're not even in the picture here. I want you to step down to the B position and be right in this space right here. There's nothing over here. Nobody's over here. So let's position right here. You know, a little bit outside the lane line, wherever you feel comfortable, but in this general vicinity. Drive comes and that's just, that is, I understand why you called it this game, but in a normal setting, we're just never coming through the paint like that in lead to call it near the elbow-ish. Would you agree? You guys agree with that? We understand that there's no trail in this play. Was that why you called it, Ashley? Because you just felt like you were out there alone on this play?
I guess because like I was waiting for like a cadence whistle. I was like, okay, he hasn't called it. Okay, I'm gonna call it.
And why was it a travel?
He took like that hop step, like the first step, and then he had taken 2 steps after he had already picked up the ball.
And then his foot returned, and then he gave that pass at the end? Because I'm just saying that because I noticed there was a pass at the end, but the travel occurred. Did he bobble that at all?
No, I think it was like 1, 2, 3, and then it was like one of those like, it's because in that game he did it about like 2 or 3 times. He had traveled and then he had passed it like after he was about to take that last step.
Yeah, that's bad feet, bro. That is bad feet. Definitely travel, but mechanically, you know, during camp, when you go to camp, like, don't call it travel through the paint like that. That's what they're going to say to you.
Mm-hmm.
You know, yeah, so that was the last play, I believe. Did we miss 142? Last play of the night. Got to make those, buddy. Give it up. All right. Take me through this play. I feel like it's a little related to the travel you had. So you're in trail.
Who was that left arm that I was looking at? Like, that one to me was like a weak call. He was able to make the layup, so it was like that one I could just let that one go.
If the lead was in a proper, dependable position, would you have thought twice about calling that? Or was the fact that there wasn't a lead, did that force you to say, uh-oh, we got to have a whistle here because we can't miss anything?
Yeah, more than likely. Because, I mean, if there was a lead already down there, I'm not making that call because he has a better look.
Yeah, especially in trail, since we're still like running and the play's leaving you, it's going away from you. You're trying to catch up to it. Yeah, that's just a play on, I feel, in my opinion. Anybody have any other thoughts on this play?
No, I agree. I think if you just hold your whistle for like a breath, if you just take a breath before you blow, then you'll realize that contact doesn't have any effect on the shooter.
Yeah, it was
Right,
a weak.
it happens. It just might be a reactionary, right? Like, you just take that extra second, that breath before you decide to blow or not to blow. It'll help you a lot. And that's just my little thing on that play.
And that's one thing that is inexcusable for us as officials, right? We can be out of position because we took the wrong route or we accidentally get stacked. It's going to happen. We can't be out of position due to effort and due to just not running. So take this play for what it's worth, but this is a high school play. This happens all across the country, and you know, we got to make sure we interpret it and process it the right way. So I just wanted to relate some of those big picture points, like, all right, you kind of recognize that you're working by yourself on this play, but still got to stay disciplined, got to trust your partner. Don't inject yourself into the game just because, you know, you don't want fear of missing something. The fear of missing something is what makes officials put a lot of whistles on stuff we don't need, because we're all just out here trying to not miss something. So
Yeah, that's a really good point, Paul. That's a very good point.
what do you think, Ashley? Hope that was helpful for you.
That last one was a weak call.
Good, let it sting.
Yeah.
It happens, you know, that you're building up your tolerance, and the only way to do that is by looking at plays of you making weak calls and incorrect calls and putting whistles on insignificant incidental contact. It's the only way we learn and get more reps, and then just going out and doing more men's league games and putting yourself in pressurized spots there where you're a little uncomfortable and they're working you a little bit, they're testing you. You know, you kind of need that. It's going to develop your spine. But great work. It's great watching you. Great watching you work. Does anybody else have, Carmel, you have anything for Ashley?
Yeah, I'm excited for you, girl. You know, I'm excited for all of us because, you know, now that, you know, we're watching your film, you know, I'm super excited for you. Can't wait to see how far you all go. You go.
Thank you. I was like, when they said Carmela was doing those JUCO games, I was like, okay, yeah, Carmela's my idol.
I appreciate that. Hey, man, we gotta, you know, support one another as females. You know, raise each other up. But, you know, I'm looking forward to working with you or watching you grow. I'm excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, and then back to your original point, you know, how you have questions about in the game or about rules. I think Carmel is a good resource to have to reach out to about questions, and like Paul about rules. So just my advice is understand who you're asking the questions to and who can be a good resource to help you grow. So that would just be my tip going forward. So just know who to ask and what to ask them for, right?
Yeah. And like in about a month, I'm pretty sure Carmelo and Paul are probably gonna be like, Ashley, like leave me alone.
No, definitely not. I love it. Love it. Bother me all you want.
Actually, I got a track record of 4 years of me not telling anybody to leave me alone. So I mean, that's on record. No, but every girl too that signs up, I'm always like, oh, I can't wait to hook you up with Carmela. And now I'm saying like, oh, we got to see Ashley, like another young official from Texas. So, I brag about you guys all the time, but it's a pleasure to get with everybody each week, and the camaraderie that we have and that we're growing. I don't take it for granted. I'm very appreciative for it, and I want to continue to tell you guys all the time. So, thanks for coming tonight.
Thank you for listening to the Crown Refs Podcast.